Imagine walking into a parent-teacher conference and the first words you hear are, "Why won't you potty train my 8-year-old during virtual class?" Yes, that actually happened. Then another parent hands you adoption papers for their cat. Because you refused, they threatened to sue. And one dad showed up in a full police uniform, gun visible, demanding you change his kid's failing grade on the spot. These are 56 real jaw-dropping complaints teachers have faced. Hit that like button if you're already stressed just hearing this. Subscribe to never miss the next round of chaos, and comment your teacher's worst parent story. 1. A parent actually complained that the teacher refused to potty train their child during virtual class. The kid was 8 years old and still wearing pull-ups on camera, while mom demanded a full diaper training schedule through Zoom. The teacher sat there wondering if she had missed a class in college called online potty management. The parent insisted it was the teacher's responsibility since learning was happening online. The teacher gently reminded her that potty training requires physical presence, not Wi-Fi. The mom replied that virtual learning means virtual toilets. The teacher muted the mic and silently questioned humanity. 2. A parent complained that her kid stayed up all night gaming and was too tired in class, then demanded the teacher fix it. Apparently, teachers now control bedtime, consoles, and caffeine levels. The mom said the school should intervene because her son's grades dropped after Fortnite tournaments. The teacher suggested setting screen time limits, but the parent claimed that was emotional abuse. She also asked if the teacher could wake the child every morning through Google Meet. The teacher explained she teaches math, not sleep therapy. The mom rolled her eyes, said, "Teachers never care," and blamed public education for insomnia. 3. One parent actually argued that their child deserved 100% because only the answered questions were graded. The kid left half the paper blank, yet the mom insisted effort should count twice since skipping is still thinking. She said her daughter used mental focus to stare at the unanswered part of the page, which shows concentration. The teacher calmly explained that empty spaces do not equal effort. The mom called that unfair bias against creative students. The teacher offered extra credit practice sheets, and the mom said her child already practices ignoring things. Logic officially left the classroom. 4. A furious parent stormed in, saying her daughter could not focus because the teacher was too handsome. She claimed the teacher's appearance caused emotional distraction and demanded an older replacement. The principal almost laughed until realizing she was serious. She said the teacher's button-up shirts were too flattering for a learning environment. The teacher was told to maybe wear sweaters instead. The mom left satisfied, thinking she fixed education. Meanwhile, the teacher stood there wondering if good grooming now counted as misconduct. That day, he learned charm is apparently dangerous when mixed with algebra and parental insecurity. 5. A parent once filed an official complaint because the teacher taught the word girl before the word boy in phonics lessons. She said it showed gender bias against males. The teacher tried explaining phonics follows sound patterns, not equality protests. The mom said her son felt excluded from reading progress. The teacher suggested patience and practice, but she accused him of feminist teaching. The irony was that her son spelled boy perfectly after overhearing the argument. The teacher realized logic could never beat paranoia. A word order in kindergarten became another chapter in the long novel of nonsense. 6. Another parent blamed the teacher for rain during a school zoo trip. She demanded the teacher warn her in advance about weather conditions. The teacher explained that predicting rainfall was beyond human skill unless the school suddenly hired meteorologists. The mom argued that teachers control everything, including nature, because field trips fall under education. She even asked for emotional compensation for her wet shoes. The teacher offered a towel and a smile. The parent said that was rude customer service. The rain stopped eventually, but not the absurdity that followed. Some people truly believe clouds need permission slips. 7. A parent angrily called the school, demanding the teacher stop neighborhood kids from swearing after hours. The teacher asked if this was happening on school property. The parent said no, but expected discipline anyway because kids learned those words somewhere. The teacher explained that schools are not law enforcement outside campus. The parent yelled that moral education never sleeps. The teacher suggested the parent address it at home. The parent slammed the phone saying teachers avoid responsibility. The irony was, the teacher was grading silent reading essays when accused of controlling random street vocabulary. Logic again failed attendance. 8. A mom complained that the teacher refused to give her child the exact test with answers to study from. She argued it would build confidence. The teacher explained that handing out the actual test was cheating. The mom said it was proactive preparation. She claimed her kid needed to know everything ahead to reduce stress. The teacher said learning requires problem solving. The mom said problems cause trauma. She later emailed saying her son failed because of educational sabotage. The teacher just smiled, knowing academic honesty lost another battle to parenting creativity disguised as concern. 9. A parent once accused a math teacher of attacking religion because he joked about evolution during a probability lesson. The parent shouted that math should stay pure and godly. The teacher explained the joke used dinosaurs for statistics, not heresy. The parent insisted it mocked creation. The teacher said humor helps memory. The parent said faith needs no math. Eventually, she demanded her child transfer to a school that teaches the truth about fossils. The teacher marked the attendance sheet slowly, wondering how probability became blasphemy. Faith met fractions that day, and common sense skipped class completely. 10. One parent complained that the teacher banned gum in class. She said her child deserved to chew freely because it helped thinking. The teacher explained gum causes distractions and sticky desks. The mom argued that denying gum limits creativity. She even asked to speak to the superintendent over what she called a freedom violation. The teacher stood silently as the parent compared chewing to breathing rights. Eventually, the parent left declaring she would contact the media about gum injustice. The teacher added it to the growing list of absurd complaints proving that education is never flavorless. 11. A parent complained that the teacher refused to adopt their family cat after saying pets are not allowed in school. The mom said her child was heartbroken and blamed the teacher for emotional damage. She even claimed the teacher's rejection forced them to put the cat down. The teacher tried explaining boundaries between classroom and animal shelter. The parent said caring means adoption. The teacher offered sympathy but refused again. The parent left crying about cruelty. The next day, the teacher found a cat collar on the desk with a note saying, "You failed this family test." 12. One parent demanded the school stop teaching cursive because it is backward and useless on phones. She said handwriting styles must evolve with technology. The teacher explained cursive helps memory and fine motor skills. The mom said her kid only types and should not waste time on old letters. She also asked if autocorrect can replace spelling tests. The teacher smiled politely and mentioned history still matters. The mom said nostalgia should stay retired. The class practiced signatures that day while the parent texted the complaint mid-sentence. Civilization officially downgraded to emojis and predictive text parenting. 13. A parent once complained that the teacher's colored bra straps under a white blouse turned her son gay. She said bright colors confuse children. The teacher explained that clothing choices do not determine orientation. The mom ignored logic and requested dress codes against rainbow tones. She even said neutral colors promote morality. The principal nearly laughed but stayed calm. The teacher wore a cardigan next day, only to find a new complaint about distracting earrings. Apparently, sparkle also corrupts youth. That week, staff meetings included fashion censorship debates. Public education met wardrobe paranoia, and fashion became forbidden knowledge. 14. A proud father argued during a meeting that his son's forged signature on a failed test was valid because it was his own handwriting. He high-fived the kid in front of the teacher, saying initiative deserves respect. The teacher sat stunned watching a parenting tutorial in fraud approval. The dad said creativity should be encouraged. The teacher mentioned honesty builds trust. The dad shrugged and said, "Truth is flexible." The meeting ended with laughter that sounded more like defeat. Somewhere between parenting and crime, the line disappeared completely, leaving only permanent marker logic. 15. A mother said, not to worry about her daughter because she is dumb and better suited for housework, while asking how her son was doing. The teacher froze as casual sexism hit the room. The mom insisted education is wasted on girls. The teacher tried explaining equality, but she interrupted saying cooking lasts longer than math. The boy looked embarrassed while the girl stared at the floor. The teacher gave both extra encouragement but left the meeting exhausted. Generations change, but ignorance still brings packed lunches. The daughter later topped the class, proving stereotypes can burn slowly. 16. A furious parent complained that music class was inappropriate because the teacher said the word fingering while teaching flute technique. The parent accused the school of corrupting minds. The teacher explained it was a musical term describing hand placement. The mom said her child came home traumatized. The teacher showed diagrams, but she called them obscene. She later sent an email saying band class promotes sin. The teacher considered quitting but instead added earplugs to her survival kit. Apparently, music education now requires parental discretion labels for innocent words lost to scandalized imagination. 17. A parent shouted that homophones in English are secret codes spreading gay propaganda. She claimed words like pair and pair hide agendas. The teacher explained language patterns calmly, but the parent accused him of demonizing religion through grammar. The teacher asked if reading rhymes is also a sin. The parent said maybe. Students sat in silence learning vocabulary from chaos. That day, everyone discovered paranoia has no spelling rules. The teacher added homophones to the list of banned mysteries and continued teaching quietly while wondering how fear keeps finding synonyms in modern parenting. 18. Another parent angrily said, teaching about Diwali promotes terrorism. She confused Festival of Lights with war. The teacher explained it celebrates positivity and culture. The parent said school should focus on safe American holidays only. The teacher mentioned understanding diversity builds kindness. The mom said diversity sounds suspicious. She demanded prayers instead of lamps. The teacher smiled through disbelief. The students later drew candles and wrote peace on the board. The parent sent one more email saying, peace seems political. The teacher filed it under nonsense and moved on, hoping ignorance has an expiration date. 19. A parent complained that lessons about World War II were too harsh for 6th graders learning from home. She said war should not appear in history because it upsets children. The teacher explained real history involves difficult truths. The mom said sadness blocks learning and requested only cheerful chapters. The teacher offered optional materials, but she called that insensitive. Apparently, censorship equals care. The next week, the parent asked if the Holocaust was optional reading. The teacher finally realized comfort has replaced knowledge. When textbooks become bedtime stories, reality fails the exam. 20. A parent demanded the teacher skip menstruation lessons because it traumatizes middle school boys. She said periods are private and unnecessary for male students. The teacher explained biology includes everyone. The mom said the topic should be taught at home only. The teacher asked if her son would learn about reproduction then. She said he will figure it out later. The teacher continued class while the mom fumed outside the door. Ignorance tried to erase science again. By the end of the day, students laughed about maturity while adults argued over basic anatomy. 21. A parent complained that the teacher drank coffee during their conference because caffeine is a stimulant. She said teachers should not model addiction while sipping a large energy drink herself. The teacher politely mentioned caffeine helps stay awake after grading hundreds of papers. The parent said her body handles energy better because she has kids. The teacher smiled, thinking that caffeine may not be the problem. The parent finished her drink mid-rant and asked if coffee causes anger issues. The teacher mentally filed the complaint under irony overdose and caffeine hypocrisy. 22. A parent demanded her child be moved to the front of the classroom because sitting in the back made them anxious. The teacher said all students rotate seats for fairness. The parent insisted her kid's self-esteem depends on proximity to the board. The teacher suggested confidence grows from participation, not location. The parent frowned, saying, seating therapy is essential. The teacher stayed calm while realizing anxiety has become a furniture issue. The next day, the child sat front row texting through class anyway. Parents often fix what never broke and call it progress. 23. One parent loudly told the teacher to plan pregnancies during summer breaks so students would not face substitute confusion. The teacher blinked twice before realizing it was serious. The parent said scheduling childbirth responsibly shows professionalism. The teacher explained biology and family planning do not follow school calendars. The parent shrugged and said, everything is possible with effort. The teacher pictured writing permission slips for labor contractions. Education met entitlement and lost badly. Teachers teach everything except how to breathe through parental absurdity. 24. A parent actually filed a formal complaint because the teacher got pregnant. She said it distracted students and showed irresponsibility. The teacher stared blankly, wondering if motherhood now requires community approval. The parent said female teachers should keep personal lives private to maintain discipline. The principal ended the meeting early out of disbelief. The teacher later joked about writing lesson plans between contractions. That day, she learned job dedication sometimes means surviving human reproduction with public commentary. Professional life apparently stops where common sense refuses to start. 25. A parent told the teacher their child needed medication because they tied shoes during lessons. The teacher asked if multitasking worried them. The parent said focusing on knots proves hyperactivity. The teacher suggested letting the kid finish tying before assuming medical issues. The parent refused and said shoes are symbols of distraction. The kid finished perfectly, then solved a math problem faster than anyone else. The teacher smiled at irony walking across the floor. Sometimes parents invent illnesses for perfectly healthy kids just to feel important. 26. A parent complained the teacher looked too young and attractive, causing her teenage son to have a crush. She said, "Youth in education is dangerous." The teacher laughed awkwardly until realizing the complaint was real. The mom demanded older instructors to prevent emotional confusion. The teacher said attraction is natural, but classroom boundaries exist. The parent said beauty ruins focus. The principal nearly choked on laughter. The teacher decided wrinkles might one day save her career. Apparently, competence must come with gray hair and zero charm. 27. A parent shouted that the teacher embarrassed her son by stopping him from ripping classmates' art off the wall. She said discipline humiliated his creativity. The teacher calmly explained destruction is not expression. The mom said anger shows passion. The teacher said respect shows maturity. The parent threatened a lawsuit for emotional damage. The teacher considered framing the word responsibility like artwork. When tantrums become freedom statements, classrooms turn into chaos museums. The kid returned next day smiling with scissors confiscated permanently. 28. A parent complained that the school bus color combination of silver and blue caused confusion and demanded one color only. The teacher tried to explain bus paint choices come from transportation departments. The parent said mixed colors mess with emotional harmony. The teacher blinked, wondering if buses need therapy too. The complaint included a mood chart for color correction. The driver later painted a small sticker just to stop the argument. Somewhere, an artist cried, and a parent celebrated victory over paint pigment identity crisis. 29. A parent accused the teacher of teaching critical thinking, which made her child question everything at home. She said ambition causes rebellion, and schools should aim lower. The teacher said curiosity drives learning. The parent said ignorance keeps peace. The teacher realized some parents fear intelligence more than failure. The conversation ended with the parent saying she would pray the child stops asking questions. Enlightenment officially got grounded that day. 30. A parent argued that her child deserved full credit for completing half a worksheet. The teacher gave 50% for effort. The parent claimed the blank side still counts because the child looked at it thoughtfully. The teacher explained silence does not equal understanding. The parent said imagination fills empty spaces. The teacher smiled, realizing creativity now replaces responsibility. Grading became spiritual that day. Effort became invisible currency. The blank side won applause, and education quietly wept in the corner. 31. A parent told the teacher to stop whining about classroom struggles and called them a second-class citizen. She said if teachers hate it so much they should quit, because summers off are enough reward. The teacher calmly explained supplies cost personal money and exhaustion is real. The parent said she works harder selling candles online. The teacher wondered how ignorance fits in a gift box. Respect used to be part of education, but now entitlement fills the schedule. Teachers survive criticism like champions, collecting invisible trophies for patience. 32. Some parents started sending drink orders to their kids at school through text messages. One even asked the teacher to hand a mocha latte to her daughter during science class. The teacher said classrooms are not coffee shops. The parent replied, "Hydration improves learning." The teacher pointed toward the water fountain. The parent insisted filtered flavor matters. The teacher thought about applying to Starbucks just to avoid caffeine custody arguments. Education now includes beverage management with extra shots of absurdity. 33. A parent dropped her child off late every day saying they arrived when the family finally felt ready. She said time pressure ruins creativity. The teacher reminded her school starts at 8:30. The parent said time is a social construct. The teacher said attendance is not optional. The parent smiled, saying genius cannot be rushed. The student arrived mid-morning again next day holding breakfast and zero guilt. The teacher realized punctuality is officially extinct. Somewhere clocks cry softly between excuses and toast crumbs. 34. A parent filed a complaint because the teacher told her child they might fail if they never did the homework. She said, negativity kills motivation. The teacher said accountability builds growth. The parent said warnings count as emotional abuse. The teacher smiled and said, honesty is part of teaching. The parent threatened to contact the district for bullying. Failure apparently offends people more than laziness now. The teacher wondered when realism became an enemy of comfort zones. Education without honesty feels like cheering for imaginary progress. 35. A parent blamed teachers' unions for brainwashing kids. She said, collective bargaining spreads political disease. The teacher explained unions protect fair pay and safe classrooms. The parent said freedom means refusing cooperation. The teacher asked if health insurance offends her too. The parent said her taxes should not feed lazy educators. The teacher politely ended the call and drank water to wash away ignorance residue. The next day, the child drew a picture of teamwork and labeled it evil. Somewhere, democracy sighed. 36. A parent complained that her child could not focus during lessons because the teacher lectured too much without fun activities. She ignored the part where her kid barely understood English. The teacher tried mixing visuals and games, but nothing helped. The parent said boredom signals bad teaching. The teacher asked how much screen time the child gets daily. The parent said unlimited because creativity needs freedom. The teacher nodded, knowing attention spans now expire faster than batteries. Fun apparently means avoiding learning altogether. 37. A parent yelled that the teacher was too strict because her child constantly disrupted class. She said discipline hurts confidence. The teacher explained boundaries maintain safety. The parent said free-spirit children need zero rules. The next day, the same kid threw pencils and called it art. The teacher calmly removed him from the group. The mom filed a report for harassment. The school counselor sighed again. When chaos gets protection order forms, teachers realize logic has early retirement. 38. A parent demanded the teacher stop distracting students by confiscating phones. She said her son texts her mid-class for important updates like coffee choices. The teacher explained phones interrupt focus. The mom said communication builds trust. The teacher suggested silent mode. The parent said that violates freedom of expression. The teacher wondered when caffeine orders became emergencies. Parenting through smartphones created chaos disguised as connection. Teachers just wish notifications came with patience instead of pings. 39. A parent accused the teacher of mishandling her child's mental health because she refused to suspend them for absences during recovery. She said compassion equals punishment. The teacher explained flexibility helps healing. The parent said rules are rules. The teacher asked if empathy breaks policies now. The parent said fairness demands suffering. The teacher realized some adults confuse discipline with cruelty. Support turned into scandal before lunch. Compassion deserves better company than paperwork. 40. A parent blamed the teacher because her child could not sit through a classroom movie. She said boring lessons caused short attention spans. The teacher mentioned the student plays on a tablet 10 hours daily. The parent said screens keep focus sharp. The teacher paused, silently calculating irony. The parent said she expects entertainment, not lectures. The teacher smiled, remembering education is not Netflix. Learning requires patience, yet everyone keeps pressing skip intro. 41. A parent complained the teacher used their phone during class, which distracted students. The teacher explained it was for group homework reminders. The parent said technology sets bad examples. The teacher pointed out the parent texted complaints during meetings. The parent said adults multitask responsibly. The irony was so heavy it needed grading. The teacher continued using the phone for lesson planning. The next day, the student forgot homework but said, "Teacher scrolling ruined focus." Apparently, screens only corrupt when teachers touch them. 42. A parent celebrated her son for punching the teacher, then bragged about it online. She said, "Standing up for himself builds character." The teacher sat bruised, wondering how violence became empowerment. The parent said discipline damages confidence. The school called security. The parent filmed and smiled. Teachers now teach conflict resolution between ice packs and apology emails. Violence has applause tracks in modern parenting. Society keeps wondering where respect disappeared. 43. A parent accused the teacher of political brainwashing after mentioning Margaret Thatcher during history class. She said any discussion about leaders pushes secret agendas. The teacher explained context matters. The parent said neutrality means silence. The teacher smiled, realizing silence now counts as knowledge. The child later asked who Thatcher was, and the mom yelled, "Never mind, she is dangerous." History became forbidden storytelling wrapped in paranoia. Teachers just keep teaching through rolling eyes and misplaced patriotism. 44. A parent asked why her 3-year-old was not potty trained yet and demanded the teacher fix it. The teacher gently said, "Evolution does not handle toilet training." The parent said preschool should guarantee dryness by graduation. The teacher reminded her toddlers require home practice. The parent argued science must improve efficiency. The teacher offered patience, but the parent wanted results. Somewhere between pull-ups and expectations, logic drowned. 45. A parent asked why the teacher was not teaching hygiene to her child who came to school unwashed. The teacher said hygiene lessons exist, but bath time happens at home. The parent said schools must ensure cleanliness for better grades. The teacher said responsibility starts with parents. The mom frowned, saying teaching is complete only with shampoo. The teacher realized personal care now sits on curriculum lists. Education officially smells like confusion and baby wipes. 46. A parent complained that accommodations for her struggling student were liberal nonsense. She said modified tests create weakness. The teacher explained adjustments help learning differences. The parent said equal treatment means same materials for all. The teacher replied, fairness considers needs. The parent called inclusivity political. The teacher smiled, realizing compassion now offends people. Equality without empathy becomes punishment. 47. A parent demanded investigation because another student called her child little one on the playground. She said it counts as bullying. The teacher explained it was politeness, not insult. The parent said words hurt even compliments. The teacher tried restoring peace, but paperwork followed anyway. Now kindness requires incident reports. Students fear greetings while teachers file emotional transcripts. 48. A parent claimed the teacher was fake because she did not read aloud daily during the first week of school. The teacher explained routines take time. The parent said real teachers start day one or not at all. The teacher smiled, remembering patience once existed. The complaint email included screenshots of classroom decorations as evidence of laziness. Perfection apparently begins before attendance lists. 49. A parent said her straight A student was bored and blamed the teacher for not motivating genius. The teacher offered enrichment activities. The parent said she will handle it with speeches at dinner. The teacher nodded politely, watching ambition collide with denial. Some parents fear challenge because pride loves comfort. Achievement deserves curiosity, not complaints about effort. 50. A parent accused the teacher of sadism for giving detention after her son argued about soccer teams during class. She said, talking about Arsenal builds community. The teacher said, lessons require focus. The parent said, "Sports strengthen minds." The teacher assigned extra reading, which the parent called cruel punishment. The next day, the boy discussed football strategy during detention proudly. Education met entertainment and lost the game. 51. A parent complained that her child's grades dropped because the teacher used cursive for notes. She said handwriting evolution should stop at print. The teacher explained reading cursive builds comprehension. The mom said decoding loops wastes time. The teacher offered typed notes, but she called that unfair advantage. The irony could fill a notebook. Students later practiced reading old letters and discovered history still has curves. The parent never responded, but probably blamed penmanship for emotional damage. Handwriting officially joined the endangered species list of modern learning. 52. A parent accused the teacher of threatening violence after joking about old-school paddling during history discussions. The teacher said it was sarcasm, not a warning. The parent said humor hides trauma. The teacher explained context builds engagement. The parent demanded sensitivity training. The principal watched both sides dissolve into confusion. Somewhere between laughter and outrage, humanity misplaced its sense of proportion. Sarcasm should come with subtitles for fragile logic. 53. A parent wearing a police uniform confronted the teacher over a bad grade. He said change it immediately. The teacher refused, and he gestured toward his badge like authority guarantees A's. The principal arrived before the standoff turned into a viral headline. The parent left saying justice was denied. The teacher drank cold coffee wondering why intimidation passes for parenting. Grades are earned, not negotiated at gun holster meetings. 54. A parent filed a report accusing the teacher of abuse for scolding her child during a tantrum. She said emotional freedom matters more than manners. The teacher explained classroom order protects everyone. The parent called child services to prove a point. The investigation lasted 1 hour and cleared the teacher. Meanwhile, the kid learned drama earns attention. The teacher added patience to her resume and silence to her peace plan. 55. A parent complained the teacher failed her kid for bad handwriting and poor sun protection. She said lack of sunscreen caused low motivation. The teacher blinked at the sentence 3 times before answering. The parent insisted outdoor recess demands lotion awareness. The teacher said writing practice works indoors. The parent said heat stress kills creativity. Sunscreen officially joined the syllabus besides spelling. Education now smells like coconut confusion. 56. A parent told the teacher she only became one because she wanted summers off and hated real jobs. The teacher smiled politely, knowing passion pays in patience, not checks. The parent said disliking her child proves bitterness. The teacher thanked her for the feedback and went home, grading in silence. Somewhere in that chaos, teachers still care harder than they should. And there you have it. 56 real parent complaints so dumb they deserve their own sitcom. Which one made you laugh the hardest or lose the most brain cells trying to understand it? Drop your favorite number below. The funniest comment gets pinned. Smash that like if you survived this roller coaster of logic, and subscribe for the next episode of Pure Chaos, because when the customer is always wrong, education becomes entertainment.